here we go for lesson 6, talking about square roots and cube roots. So numbers like 9, 25, and 144 are perfect squares, vocab word there, because they are squares of integers. The opposite of squaring a number is finding the square root. Okay, so perfect squares would be a number that, if you took the square root, you would get an integer, you get a whole number. The radical sign, right here, another vocab word, is used to indicate a non-negative square root. Every positive number has both a positive and a negative square root. So square root of 36 is 6 because 6 times 6 is 36. Then negative square root of 36 is negative 6. And plus or minus square root of 36 would be plus or minus 6. Or you could write it out as a 6 and a negative 6. A negative number like negative 36 has no real number square root because the square of a number cannot be negative. If you think about it, if we took a positive times a positive, we get a positive. If we took a negative times a negative, we still get a positive. So in order to do your square roots, you have to have the same sign with both numbers. The only way to get this negative here would be a negative times a positive, and we no longer have the same number. Okay, so finding the square root. Over here on the left, we have A, B, C, and D. These are all perfect squares, meaning that they would have a whole number square root. So square root of 9, what times itself gives us 9? Well, we know that that is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So negative square root of 64. What times itself gives us 64? That is 8. 8 times 8 gives us 64. We have that negative out front, so a negative 8. And plus minus the square root of 4. So we're going to have that plus minus. What times itself gives us 4? That is a 2. Then the square root of negative 81. Notice this negative is on the inside versus the outside up here. So this one, I'm just going to write a 0 with a line through it. I wrote my line the wrong way. Meaning that it has no real number solution. So no real solution. Okay, so these were all perfect squares. They all gave us a integer answer when we took square root. Over here, square root of 33 and negative square root of 129, we want to estimate the square root to the nearest integer because they are not perfect squares. So we're going to go to our calculator, and square root of 33. To do your square root, you see right over here, next to your x squared button that we've been using, right up above in blue, there is a radical sign. So we hit second, x squared gives us that square root. Make sure you do that first. Then we punch in 33, hit enter. You'll see we get 5.7. Well, if we go back to our instructions, we want it to the nearest integer. So if we have 5.7, that is approximately 6. Okay, same thing here. Knowing it's going to be negative. Go back. So negative first, second, x squared gives us our square root, 129, enter. Alright, we actually want to take this out of scientific notation real quick. Remember, we go to mode, we look at the second line here, we want the normal. We go back. Now, if I just go back up and highlight this, I'll give you my answer again, this time not in scientific notation. So negative 11.3, that would round down, so approximately negative 11. So just watch what mode we're in so you don't have to keep retyping everything. Okay, so that's square roots. Next up we have a cube root. So a cube root of a number is one of the 3 equal factors of the number. The symbol would be a radical sign with a 3 above it. Is used to indicate the cube root of a number. So the difference between square root and cube root, we're looking for 3 equal factors, so what times itself 3 times, instead of what times itself twice for the square root. Now the other difference between square roots and cube roots, your cube root can be negative. So here's a couple of rules for us. The cube root of a positive number is positive, the cube root of 0 is 0, and the cube root of a negative number is negative, so we can have negatives now. Alright, a couple examples. Find each cube root. The cubic root of 343. What times itself 3 times gives us 343? The answer is 7. the cube root of negative 729. Negative here, sorry, it's going to be negative. So now what times itself 3 times gives us 729? The answer is 9. And the cube root of 64. Now watch, we're doing cube root, not square root, so it's not 8. It is actually 4 this time. Now, if you don't know what those numbers are off the top of your head, then I'm about to show you with our estimating down here, how to do it on your calculator. So estimate the cubic root of 83 to the nearest integer. Okay, so on your calculator, to do a square root, to do a square root, that was just right there on the calculator for you. To do a cubic root, we have to go to math first. So this math button right here, click that, and then you'll see down here, 4th option down. So either scroll down or just hit 4, hit enter. That gives us our cubic root. So we're doing the cubic root of 83. Estimating that, this is 4.3. We wanted to estimate to the nearest integer, so that is approximately 4. Alright, so that is doing square roots and cubic roots. Again, we'll be using our calculator a lot for this section.